Off the block, it's out, and Purdue will take it.
Colvin on the slide. What a better way to end this one on senior night.
Spectacular crowd inside Mackey Arena. Colvin puts an end to the first set.
How sweet it is! The Purdue Boilermakers punch their ticket to the Sweet 16.
Is down. History for Dave Shondell.
Welcome back to the Dig City Podcast. I'm Cory Palm. He's head coach Dave Shondell. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about this week. A lot of great volleyball to talk about. Some great performances in Holloway Gymnasium. And before we get there, I got to mention we're brought to you by Franciscan Health, the official medical provider of Purdue Athletics, and we love their support for student athletes and for the Dig City Podcast. Coach, Boilermakers 4-1 on the year. We're going to talk about some great performances on the court, but as good as anything last week, I thought the fans really came out in full force support of the Boilermakers, really at certain points on Thursday night and Friday night, 5-set wins for your squad, but really played a key part in lifting this team.
Yeah, we have so much to be thankful for in regards to the fans that we have, and not just in volleyball. But what I've witnessed over the course of time, and really so much lately, is that Purdue is a pretty special place when it comes to the support that we have from our loyal fans. And I didn't see the first football game because I think we must have been on the road.
Yeah.
But I was there on Saturday night, and to see a place that's just packed, a team that's coming off of a 1-11 record a year ago. And nobody knows what we're going to be like this year. I mean, we're a more disciplined football team than what we have been, and seem to be, fairly fundamentally sound. But you can't reinvent the wheel in that amount of time. So, it's a matter of did we hit the jackpot with some kids or not? But anyway, long story short, I do think that Purdue has put together great fan experiences. I mean, I think you got to give credit to the people, Chris Pelliadat and those people over there that are really putting together ways to make our fans want to come watch these matches and these games because they're coming out. Mm-hmm. And, I think in the case of, with Matt Painter and ourselves, we've got a little bit of a history that we're going to win. And I think that makes it easier, but yet our fans are coming out watching everybody, and they just love the Purdue Boilermakers, and I think that's unique. That is not that way everywhere. Okay, I can watch tape of football games and volleyball games and basketball games and see a lot of empty seats. Mm-hmm. You just don't see that here. And I think that's a credit to the type of people that follow Purdue, that graduate from Purdue. That loyalty is really, really something special.
There's no better way to get fans interested and keep them interested than making them feel connected. Like you said, there's great efforts across all teams to really connect with the fan base, and if you show them a little love, they show you a lot of love back, and you certainly had that feeling Friday night against the Jayhawks, that great 5-set win for you guys.
Yeah, I don't think we win without that crowd support, especially with that student section, the block party right at the back of us to begin the match, and then at the back of the other team down the stretch where they made a few service errors with the help of our block mm-hmm. party, I thought. But it was loud, it was rowdy. And, every year that block party's different. There's new leadership. Yep. There's new people that come into the fold that are freshmen. Have never even been to one of those matches before. And this group's got some character. I mean, there's new faces and new people, and they're having some fun down there, and I just hope we can continue to deliver for them to make it enjoyable for them to come out.
For sure. Let's go ahead and talk about last week. Boilermakers go 2-1 in the Stacey Clark Classic. Dropped a bit of a heartbreaker to a very good Georgia Tech team, and I saw all 6 matches last week. That effort by Georgia Tech against y'all on Wednesday was as good as they played all week. They looked really dialed in, and it was quite a fight with the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I think, scheduling, Gene Cady would say this. He'd tell you it's not who you play, it's when you play. And I did not do a good job of getting our team prepared to play Georgia Tech from an emotional standpoint. We were coming off of a great trip to Tennessee, come back, win, hard-fought win over South Florida on that first match on, what was that, Friday? And then Saturday we play in front of a pretty good crowd in Nashville for a big event down there, and we beat Tennessee and we played great. And that's exciting. Well, we got to come back, and 3 days later we're playing Georgia Tech. And it was the Stacey Clark Classic, and you know as well as I do how valuable of a human being Stacey Clark was to our program. But yet, in the rush of getting prepared as a team, I failed to even talk about Stacey Clark before that match, and I always do. Mm-hmm. We were 21-0 in Stacey Clark Classic history until we lost to Georgia Tech, and I just don't think that I did the job I needed to do to get our team emotionally prepared for that. And we did not play extremely well. I agree Georgia Tech did play well, and they deserved to win the match, but we learned something from that. Yeah. You know, as I like to say, every day is an education, and we learned a heck of a lot from what not to do. And then I thought we bounced back, and even though Bowling Green played us, nose to nose the entire match, what a great Mid-American Conference team. I told my brother Steve, who's very familiar with MAC volleyball, he coached at Ball State for a while, and he's seen every team in the MAC, and he's kind of the guru of MAC volleyball. I said, this is the best Mid-American Conference team I've seen in 25 years. They've got great talent, and they're going to be really hard to beat. So I felt good that we found a way to beat the Falcons, and then turn around and you're playing the best team in the field, Kansas, who's got a couple of foreign kids that they paid good money to come in and play at Kansas, and then some veteran players returning, and he brought a really good setter with him from Oregon that he felt was a key cog to whether he's at Oregon or at Kansas. He wanted that player setting and running the show for him. But we played very, very well to win that one. We were down 8-6 on the flip in the fifth set. And from that point on, we pretty much controlled. Ryan McAleer put on a show for our fans, and interesting because she's a young player, first year as a libero. It would have been her fifth match as a libero playing for Purdue. She's playing her hometown team. She's from Overland Park, which is right outside, well, not outside Kansas, but outside Kansas City. It's kind of still, she knows Kansas very, very well, the university. And for her to play it that well, because you're either going to play bad or you're going to play good. Mm-hmm. And she chose to play really, really well and put on a show, 30 digs, I think, in that match. And that was the energy and the intensity that our team played with, and we had to play that way to be able to compete with Kansas. And it was all the way across the board. There wasn't anybody that didn't show up to compete on Friday night.
Well, and you guys showed up from set one, too. You for my money, you looked as good as you have all year in that first set against the Jayhawks. Well, yeah. Really set the tone.
No question. We really played well in the first, and got the lead early and held on to it. I think it was 25-16, something like that. And I'm not sure they've been beat like that all season, but they bounced back. And I thought it was funny because I remember telling our team at timeouts late in the second set, I said, Kansas isn't playing any better than they played the first set. We're just giving them points. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't give points and you'll win the match, because I think we're better than they are. So there were some games we followed that creed, and there were some that we didn't. But it's funny. I have a neighbor that said, "Why do you guys always play so well on this side of the court, but then you don't play that well when you flip to the other side?" Because if you do the math, the points are all being scored would be the south side of the court. Yep. And so I guess we got to maybe practice a little bit more, put our first unit on the other side of the court a little bit more in practice.
Put them over there and with the block party screaming in your ears behind you instead of in your face. Some individuals that stood out, you already mentioned McAleer against the Jayhawks. Right. Kenna Wallard was great in all three matches, 20 kills against Kansas. For Kenna, a couple aces as well. She's really taken to that all six rotations, play all around role, hasn't she? Yeah,
I remember watching Kenna play for the first time as a sophomore in club volleyball, and it was right before the recruiting process began for players her age. And I was down in Louisville, and this was a player that was on my list that I needed to see. Mm-hmm. And so I watched her play a couple matches, and I thought, wow, what a great athlete. And so we've gotten a couple other players from that club that were awfully good, Val Nickel and Grace Cleveland.
That's right.
Both out of Illini Elite Volleyball Club. And so I talked to the director who was also coaching that particular team, and I said, what's our chances here? This is a player that I'm going to really be interested in. And came back later and said, well, Purdue's a dream school.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what? But it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy.
Never is.
Because she started getting a lot of attention. But anyway, long story short, she is evolving into a tremendous six-rotation player. Has not played six rotations since she's been at Purdue. Five matches she's played in six rotations. And her poise and her calm and her steadiness is really a key for us right now. She's not flawless. She'll make some mistakes. But when you're on the floor doing everything, serving, passing, attacking, defending, did I say blocking?
Not yet.
Doing all those things, you're a five-tool player in the sport of volleyball. You're going to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
It's how do you respond when you make those mistakes and you come back after maybe you get aced or maybe you make a hitting error. What do you do after that? And I think her composure has really set the tone for our entire team.
There's times Grace Heaney on the opposite side.
Yeah.
When she gets a ball in system, it is
Yeah.
look out on the other side because
Yeah.
she can crush.
And this is an important factor, I think, that sometimes if coaches and fans need to keep in mind. Grace Heaney didn't play last year. Sat out the whole year. Grace Heaney did not play last season. Lindsey Miller did not play last season at USC.
She does not look rusty.
She's not playing
in the
a
least.
match.
Yeah.
Natalie Moravec did not play last season. We got 3 players in our top 8 or 9 that didn't even play last year. And so it's going to take some time for them to get back to play at the level they're supposed to play at. Grace just has to have great confidence that her shoulder is fine. And most of the time when she goes up and swings, she feels pretty good about it. But she's an absolute pivotal person on our team. She gives us that balance across the net. Our left sides are going. We know that they're going to play well. Can Grace punish the ball on the right side? And when she goes up and really swings like she believes in who she is, she's one of the best right side players in the Big Ten Conference. She really is. She's long, she's lean, she's got all kinds of shots, hard shots, off-speed shots. She's got good range, really good blocker. And then, of course, the reason she's playing 6 rotations isn't that we're using her that much out of the back row yet. From an offensive standpoint, she plays defense. She's got incredibly long arms. And she's a quiet competitor. She's not one of these in-your-face competitors, but she is a competitor. She does not like to lose. And I like to have those kind of people on the floor as much as I can.
Yeah, it's not often you get a 6'4" frontline player who's averaging just under 2 digs a set for.
I wish she was 6'4". She plays 6'4".
She plays 6'4".
She's long, but she's really about 6'2".
Okay. Yeah. My mistake. I didn't get the roster pulled up here fast enough. Speaking of back row players. McAleer, outstanding, but she's not alone back there. Julia Kane looked really good. Sienna Foster looked really good. Rachel Williams, you got great contribution across the back line.
Somebody could write a book on Julia Kane. Julia Kane out of down by Orlando, and I always forget the actual name of the city. You can look that up for me real quick. But Julia Kane has a lot of connections here to Purdue, a lot of graduates in her family through Purdue University. Her grandfather was a superintendent of schools for Tippecanoe County Schools. And so it was a huge, magnet for her to come back to Purdue. And I never really knew for sure how she would contribute to our program. She's a brilliant kid, grade point average, these things that we're not supposed to talk about. I think the top of our team. Okay, really smart individual. But I didn't exactly like the way she operated. When she first got here in the first year, I wondered, what direction is this going to go? But we had a lot of conversations. I think that our relationship grew and developed because I knew she had the talent. She's very athletic. She's a backcourt player, defensive specialist at 6 foot tall. Okay, long leverage. I call her the natural because she just makes things look so easy. She does have a great feel for how to play this game, and so I knew that she could be a really valuable player for us. But she had to grow up. I had to help her get there. We both had to make some adjustments in how we were going to deal with one another as this went on. But to watch her play this weekend, and I went back and watched all those matches on tape, she was locked in, absolutely locked in. All the things that we've talked to her about that we needed improve in, she's improved in every one of them. And she now, with McAleer and Kane, gives us two really, really good players. I mean, they both could play libero at the high level in the Big Ten. Both of them can. But Julia Kane is a difference maker for our team right now.
So important to have that. Especially the taller body, the longer reach in the back row. So Boilermakers go 2-1 in the Stacey Clark.
Got to go on about Rachel Williams and Sienna Foster, because you brought their names up, but I'm not going to ignore those two, because they both are turning matches around with their serve, and then they're making plays. I remember when we played down in Tennessee, Rachel Williams, not only was she serving tough, every ball they hit at her, she dug. Sienna Foster is the best server that we have on our team and comes in critical matches, but she does not hold back. She serves the ball with the same velocity in matches that she does in practice, and you'll be surprised that hardly ever happens.
No,
because we put the gun on them, and the difference is usually 4 or 5 miles an hour difference in practice in a match. Not for her. I mean, she goes after it. She just holds nothing back. But both of those guys, both made big differences for us during this past weekend, and we're going to need more and more of that.
For sure. It's so hard for. I know both of them are local Lafayette area products.
Yeah, absolutely.
And both of them were superstars in high school.
Yeah.
And it's got to be so hard to get to this level and accept your role. But I know they've both done that, and they're both as good in the locker room as they are on the
not only
floor.
accept their role, improve their role. Rachel Williams, who's a junior, has not played a lot until this year, is one of the real important leaders on this team, most vocal leaders, trying to help all these 10 new players understand what we do at Purdue and why we do it at Purdue, and how to be ready for whatever is next. And then Sienna Foster, who redshirted last year, she's now played in 5 matches in her career at Purdue, and she's been good in every one of them, and probably one of the most improved players that we have had since a year ago at this time.
So important to have that level of success from up and down the roster, and you're seeing it. It's been great. Some of the new additions, Dior Charles, Cash Anderson, both looked very good at different points last year. Talk a little bit about them.
They're two of our best competitors that we have on the team. Cash is such a friendly individual, but she's got the experience really that few people on our team have. 2 years in the SEC, another year with Michigan State in the Big Ten. But she was, had injuries, played with some injuries. Now she's healthy. And she comes up big at the right time. And you saw it at Tennessee. You saw it this past weekend, that it's hard to keep her off the floor because she competes. And she's big and physical. I mean, she is 6'3", and big hands, and as a crucial blocker. I thought it was big when they brought a player in from Kansas that had not played much, a middle, and she gets a kill right at the start. Comes in, and I think it was set 4, maybe set 3, but she rips a ball in the middle. And then the next 2 balls, Cass says, not today. And she puts up a stuff block, and that kind of slowed that person down dramatically. And that's the kind of thing Cass can do because of her experience and the amount of time that she's been in the game and understanding how things work in this sport. And then Dior Charles, I called her the other day. I said something about it, that she's still kind of a mystery to most of us because she doesn't say a lot. But she's got this toughness about her, and we need more of that. I mean, we're kind of a mixed bag of personalities on our team, and a lot of them are these happy-go-lucky. Let's have fun. Let's love each other and enjoy each other. And Dior Charles is, let's go beat people, okay? And we need that on our floor. And she had the incredible match against, I think it was Bowling Green, where she was 9 for 11. I think it was, with 0 errors, broke somebody's record for a 5-set match. And but blocking is what she does best. She's a smooth operator across the front row, seeing what's going on. Her experience, 2 years at Wake Forest, playing against the best of the SEC. Very, very quick, light feet, moves well, understands the game, and is doing some great things for us.
That's awesome. Before we get away from last weekend, I do want to point out a crucial point, and we'll bring up video of it here. Fifth set.
Will we bring a video in?
Yeah, we'll bring a little video in. Fifth set, 8-7. Kansas wins the point to go up 9-7, and you get 2 behind at that point in fifth set.
Yeah.
It's wobbly knees time. We get a challenge from the old ball coach on the sideline, and we get an overturned call. How confident were you in that challenge?
Felt pretty good about it.
Yeah? Walk me through that.
Well, we get in a rally. We hit an off-speed shot, roll shot, kind of came from the left side, but you'll have the information there. I think it was the libero comes flying in and tries to pancake it, and I thought at the time it got a good piece of the floor. And if you can see me, I'm probably reacting to it on tape right there. But then the rally goes on, and we lose the rally. Well, I've got two cards in my pocket at that point in time, and it's already now it's going to be what 9-7.
Yep.
If we don't use the card and win the challenge, so it's a no-brainer to use it. But I felt good. I felt like there was at least a 75% chance we would win that, and then we did. So now it's 8-8. Ryan McAleer goes back to serve at that point in time. We're serving a little popcorn serve over there into what we call the 2-3 zone because they were wanting to run a lot of their offense on that side of the floor. And she really had a good feel for the serve. And it's not like you're trying to ace anybody with that serve. You're trying to congest the area and make it difficult for them to do what they want to do.
Yeah, keep them out.
And then they helped us. I know their left side blasted a ball out of bounds, one of the best left side hitters in the Big 12. Swanson was really, really good all weekend, but she did have one hitting error during that stretch, and some points started to fall our way, and that gave us a 12-8 lead, I think, by the time Ryan got done serving. And then we just battled it out the rest of the way.
It was such an important time in a match where you guys were neck and neck, and like I said, if they get that 2-point edge,
we're in trouble.
You're in trouble, possibly, and sometimes even when
you're in trouble at 4-1 too.
You're in trouble at 4-1,
yeah.
Right? Then you draw even, and again, there's sometimes you see in sports where we've drawn even, but we haven't taken the lead. You get that next point too at 9-8. And sort of never look back. So.
Yeah, and they were in a tough rotation, and we had a good blocking setup going on right there. I'm pretty sure I think Cash was in the game at that point. Have you seen her there on that film?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Cash was in there, and she puts up a good block in there. I'm not sure who the middle was at that time. Was it Dior?
I think it was Dior, because Miller came in a couple points
later. And who's on the right side for us? Was it Grace in there yet?
Grace.
Okay, so that's a good blocking lineup for us, and so I liked our situation there, and so it was nice to get the challenge to go our way, and then just propel from there on out.
Well, we're going to propel to the break and then talk about the week ahead. Another busy travel schedule for the Boilermakers coming up. We'll get into it right after this.
The Dig City Podcast is brought to you by Franciscan Health, the exclusive healthcare provider for Purdue Athletics. Franciscan, inspiring health, working for a better tomorrow. Go to franciscanhealth.org for more information. Now, back to the show.
Boilermakers hit the road Tuesday of this week, a rare Tuesday night primetime match on ESPN Plus down at Hinkle Fieldhouse.
I would like to see you get this thing out today.
Yeah.
Okay, as hard as that might be to do, because you got a lot going on.
And we are taping this on Monday early afternoon, so hopefully you're getting this in your inbox Monday evening.
That would be great, because I want our fans to know we're going to be in Hinkle. And, I like to say that people in Indianapolis love Purdue, at least certainly on this side of 65 down there. But anyway, I think that this would be a great opportunity for our Boilermaker fans in the Marion County area and any area that surrounds them, and people from up here to drive down there on a Tuesday night. The trip to Hinkle's worth it to begin with.
For sure.
What a great job they've done to develop and improve and renovate that facility. And now my son Kyle is down there, and they're 4-2 on the season, and they lost a 5-setter to Illinois State that they could have won, and they might have been 5-1. But they've got some good local players. Jersey lawyer is our guy Fletcher's sister, plays for them down there. They got a libero named Evans, whose dad played basketball at IU. That's a really good player, and another Indianapolis kid on the left side that's as good of an athlete as Butler's had in a long time. So I think it will be a fun match. A lot of electricity in that gym. They're expecting a good crowd, but there will be plenty of tickets available. I don't think they're going to sell out Hinkle for that, but they are hoping that it will be a great crowd. And again, we've tried hard this year to get some opportunities for our fans to watch us play. We're going to be at Hinkle. We're going to be at Ball State. Mm-hmm. We've got 4 home matches. The road matches that we have we're 2 in Nashville and now 2 more there in where are we going? Lexington this weekend. Yep. But right now our focus is on a really good Butler team, and they're capable of beating us. And we're going to have to show up and compete.
Yeah, like you said, tough 5-set loss to Illinois State. A good win over Loyola Chicago, who we've seen.
An NCAA tournament team a year ago.
Second round of the NCAA. Yeah. So some good wins. They also fell to Iowa, so they've seen some Big Ten competition already. Yeah. And Kyle knows you can put together a pretty good team of recruits, not even leaving the state of Indiana. So
yeah, and that's kind of what their goal is. But they'll go wherever they have to, kind of like we will, to get the players that want to come to your school and compete.
Hinkle Fieldhouse, 7 o'clock Tuesday night, hopefully tomorrow night because you're watching this on Monday. Yeah. The Boilermakers take on the Bulldogs. And then you're back on the road again this weekend, like you said, in Lexington for 2 more tough matches against SMU and Houston.
Yeah, that tournament is a little bit different. We talked about this on the show earlier. As opposed to a tournament format, it's going to be already laid out who you're going to play, which I like better because you can prepare a little bit easier for both opponents because you know who they're going to be. And we open with Houston, who's 5-1. Their only loss was to LSU, who's right on the fringe of the top 25 right now. And then we play SMU, who I think might have been the top 10 or top 12 last week.
Yeah, they were 11th last week.
11th. And I think they might slide into the top 10 because they're undefeated at this point in time. And SMU seems to be a melting pot for these Texas players that leave to go to places like USC or other really powerhouse programs, but it doesn't work the way that they expected there. And then SMU seems to have a draw for them to come back. And we were at SMU last year for this tournament. We beat, who did we play down there? I think we beat Houston and then Kentucky in that tournament. But we'll see. Houston first. Like I said, they're 5-1. SMU's 5-0. So we're going to have to play really, really well to keep the ship afloat down there. But I think that we will. I think this is a team that's making a lot of progress right now. As long as the old ball coach can get them mentally ready to play, I think that's going to be the key.
There it is. Stay focused and stay in tune with the task at hand. This is year 4 of this rotation with Kentucky, Purdue.
I think it's 3.
Is it year 3? You've got one more.
We started here at Purdue,
right?
Then we went to SMU, now Lexington. So we'll go back to Houston
next year,
unless something strange happens. We'll go back to Houston, and they'll be able to set the tournament up the way they want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a great event for all teams.
It's been really good RPI.
Yeah.
Because all 4 teams are going to do consistently well with records. So, and great competition and great coaches.
It's so important to be thinking of those terms even on September 8th. We're a couple weeks into the season. You know what's ahead on the Big Ten side of the schedule. Mm-hmm. But putting together that resume last week, playing
right now, just
opponents.
So our fans know, right now our non-conference situations seems to be playing out pretty well.
Yeah.
I told people I thought South Florida was going to be pretty good. I'm not sure if I told you that or not, but I know I thought after 23 years of doing this, you have a pretty good feel for a good team. South Florida lost to us, and they lost to Tennessee, all right? So they're 0-2, but they almost beat Florida a couple days later. They're up 21-15 in the 4th, and they get beat. So they lose in 4 to Florida, who's a top 10 team, in my opinion.
Yep.
Then this past week, they beat Florida State, who's traditionally been a top 25 team, and they beat South Carolina out of the SEC.
Pretty handily.
Yeah, 3-1 maybe.
Yeah,
but some of the
3-1
scores were easy. So it's nice when you see those teams starting to beat people, so they can add some of those wins. But Tennessee hasn't. They've won 3 since we played them, 3 or 4 since we've played them. Bowling Green is the best Mid-American Conference team that I've seen. I think I've already mentioned that once. I'm
They're
probably
going to win
mentioning
a
it a
lot of matches.
They're going
this
to win a
year.
bunch. Kansas is off to a bad start RPI-wise because I think they're 2-5 or 2-4 right now. They're going to win a ton of matches. So I feel good about how our non-conference teams are going to do well. I don't think that the Big Ten has been off to a great start. There have been some people stub their toes a few too many times for my liking, and that's always been an issue with the Big Ten. Is we don't start fast. Some of our programs just don't start fast, and some of it's just poor scheduling. Some of it is they're just you get all these big physical recruits, and they're not playing well together yet. And then they get into the Big Ten, and it seems like, boy, they got a lot better when they got in the Big Ten.
What happened? Yeah, they don't start fast, but a lot of them still schedule fast. They'll get off to some really tough matchups early and maybe stub their toe. But
I mean, there's times where right now the Big Ten would be 110-10. 110 wins and maybe 10 losses. And I think that number right now is more like 100 wins and maybe 25 losses. I'm just throwing some numbers out there, but that's ballpark. That's pretty close. So the league has lost some that I don't think they had any business losing, and that will hurt us some down the stretch.
Well, we'll diagnose that problem come October, November. But for right now,
you got enough things to worry about.
Yeah,
now.
you got enough other things to stay focused on here.
What are they? What's next?
Well, next is Butler,
Yeah,
and
no
a
kidding.
good trip down to Indy to take on. What's it like coaching against your son? You did it back in the spring. This will be first time in regular season.
You'd be surprised how far on the periphery that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope his team has a great season, and I know that they're 25% better than they were a year ago. And they have a player that they're expecting to get back sometime soon too. That will make a big difference for them. So I'm excited for him. I can see the success is building there at Butler. But and it'll be fun, providing we win. If we lose, it will be the worst night in a long time. Just because you don't want to lose to a non-power 4 school. But like I say, I'm excited for him. But I'm not. I'm caught up right now in the players on their team and figuring out how we're going to try to defend them and be able to score against them and how we're going to serve them and all the things that really matter right now.
Okay.
So sorry that can't get a little bit more flamboyant.
No, that's okay. It's not supposed to. You got to say the right things.
But I will say this, that they have a little bit of he meets with his fans certain matches before the match, kind of like our situation room that we have here. And so he asked me if I could come with him for that. So I'll be in there tomorrow getting a chance to talk to the Bulldog fans a little bit about my son and what I expect to happen for the Butler faithful.
Well, his success is certainly not unexpected, and it's nothing new. He had a lot of success at Indiana Tech with the men's side, but now to be doing it on the women's side as well and building something from...
He's got a really good staff, too.
Yeah.
Tremendous staff. Tyler Goldstein, who worked here for us for a little bit as a volunteer coach, and we knew then what an unbelievable person he was and what a tremendous coach he would be. And he's got Anise, that was a volunteer coach for us too, Havili, that played at Kansas. She now plays for the Indy Ignite, and she's coaching with him as kind of a part-time deal because she still plays for the Ignite. Mm-hmm. And got a player, another Indianapolis kid that is coaching, that is maybe the most valuable member of the staff. I can't remember what her name is. It's like AJ?
AJ Lux.
Yeah, AJ Lux. And she runs things there, as far as I'm concerned. She's kind of their version of Cat Jewell.
So important
and, to have. She's the one that's in charge down there, but she's really good. So I think putting the staff together that he has put together is the key to success. And so I think he's got a good situation.
We certainly want him to win every match the rest of the season, just not tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to talk about before we...
No, just get our fans there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not going to take it for granted going down to Butler, and you try to present opportunities for our fans where they can come out very easily. And for Indianapolis, everybody knows where Hinkle Fieldhouse is, right off Meridian, okay? And not that far from Broad Ripple. So there's lots of opportunities for them to get a good meal and come to the match and watch Purdue play. And this team that we have, and Cory, you and we were talking about it off the air, what a tremendous job our players have done of pulling together. And putting a good product on the floor. Now, it's a long season, and we're going to play a lot of good people this season, but we're off to a really good start. And we just got to keep getting better. But confidence breeds confidence. And so, winning will help that. But this is a match that again, our fans in Indianapolis can come out and watch us play, and I hope that we'll see a bunch of them there. And I hope that Barry Odom can continue the role with USC coming in here. What a great win that could be. That would shock the world.
It would.
And really kind of catapult that team to some big things. And I'm not trying to put any pressure on those guys, but we talked again off the air how disciplined they are, how fundamentally sound they are, and I just think that Mike Bobinski hired the right guy with Barry Odom, and good things are in the future for Purdue football.
Agreed. Good things across the board for Purdue athletics, and we're happy to be here.
Soccer team, we had 3 wins on
nice.
This past weekend, right?
Good win for soccer,
Every
senior
team's
day.
winning, yeah.
Win over Western Illinois.
Seems early for senior day, but
moves up every year.
Yeah. A good win for those guys, and another incredible head coach. With our soccer program. So, all's good here on the Boilermaker front.
Good stuff. Be even better with a win at Butler. We'll be watching. Okay, we'll catch you back here next week, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Cory.